Every week, right around this time, we solve your problems for you. I get a lot of notes from people, and I really appreciate the time that anybody takes to sit and actually write out their problem. Remember, word economy, keep it short. I don't need a ton of details. You can put the details in after you've given me the basic problem and the question that you have. Last week on the show, we did a message from a guy I'm going to call Not Phil, because apparently that isn't his name. So I'm going to read you the original email.
Okay.
We can kind of recap what we maybe said to do, and then I'm going to tell you what actually happened.
Okay, this is amazing.
It maybe not, but this is what we're doing. So
I want to hear whatever came of it.
All
I
right.
want to hear it.
Hey, Sarah, am I a terrible person? I'm living with a horrible secret that I don't know what to do. A few weeks ago, I went out to an art and wine festival and had a few too many drinks. Then we went to dinner with my fiance and her friends, and we decided to partake in a few party favors, which did turn out to be Molly, by the way. And in the update that he wrote me, Molly is the party favor we're talking about.
Okay.
My fiance's best friend starts rubbing my leg under the table, and I knew it was trouble. We returned back to my house, and I soon realized my fiance and her friend were initiating a threesome. Think of everything that could be done beyond the full-on deed, is what he's saying. And then he goes on to describe it in graphic detail. The only rule was no sex with the friend.
No actual.
No penetrative.
Right.
Whatever.
God, if this is a moment, it's never presented. But if I find myself in this moment, I'm like, I need a shot of Novocaine for my man zone. Like, what can you do to not already be on your way to finishing with the presentation of two naked ladies in one bed?
And now they're going crazy on you and on each other. And yeah, right.
Holy
crazy
Toledo.
On you. So, the only rule is you can't
with my best friend.
Do the best friend.
Okay.
She can do all this. You can do all the stuff, but not that.
Okay.
And my fiance passes out after they're all done satisfying each other, I guess. And while trying to behave, her friend started massaging me. We're both naked. And she whispers, I have a condom. We go in the other room and proceed to do stuff all night. Now I feel so guilty, and I have no idea what to do. I see this chick frequently, and my girl has no idea. Please help. I feel so guilty.
For the record, I just want to say that he may have felt guilty, but he's also enjoying the brag moment he's getting to have here. I'm sure of it.
Which is why this thing that turns out happened a long time ago is something that he wanted to share with us.
Okay.
It is a brag moment. Not Phil. I know he's like, I didn't want you to read porn. Yeah, but you wanted to write it out. And
it's okay. He gets to brag, and that's why. Like I said, the day of the letter, I thought, we can't green light this kind of behavior. But I'm in the ocean the next day. I'm like, these people are taking party favors and getting naked in bed together. There are no rules. What is this rule
crap?
What's
the rule thing?
And she fell sound asleep. Like, are you kidding me? They had a green light to go and finish it in the other room. It's fine. It's not even a problem. I don't even know why we...
So I think I said you have to tell her. You either team up with the best friend and you go to her together, or because it's going to come out. It's going to come out, and she needs to hear it from you. Okay. So no matter what, that was my advice. I think you said put it in the vault forever.
I feel like
make a deal with the other girl to never speak of it.
This your best friend.
We never speak of it again.
We just zip it.
What did you say, Bobby?
I was incredibly conflicted. I was going back and forth.
And did you have any solid advice?
No, my whole advice was put it in the vault.
Mm-hmm. Both boys put it in the vault.
Put it in the vault.
Yeah. Okay, so that was where we were at, and we did spend a lot of time talking about it, and we whatever. So here we go. Here's the letter from Not Phil. Good morning, Sarah and crew. This is Phil. Very happy I used a fake email address at the time. Now, and name at the time, Sarah. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't just trying to get you to say dirty stuff, Sarah. Everything in the situation is 100% true. The only lie was that this whole thing unfolded in 2018, not a month ago, and the aftermath was epic. I wrote the original email about 8 years ago, and I never hit send because I thought the specifics were just that, too specific, and it would be uncovered quite easily. So maybe the the person in question was also a listener and would be like, uh-oh, that
Okay.
sounds like exactly what happened to us last weekend. We had been together for 3 years at the time. The party favors were Molly, and I forgot to add that my fiance's friend was in a long-term relationship herself at the time. Also, my fiance was/is a declared bisexual. So by the three-way, I believe in hindsight, had other intentions for her as well. To be honest, I knew what I did was wrong, but it did feel like entrapment in a way. I chose to stay silent and not come forward. And this is what happened.
Oh my goodness.
About 2 weeks after the incident, we went to the friend's house for drinks and pool/hot tub, and the friend decides, I'm going hot tub while we're hot tubbing, adding to the already uncomfortable situation. From here, I decided being around her was a horrible idea, so I withdrew from all get-togethers with her. A month and a half after the incident, on a trip to Vegas with just me and my fiance, I returned from the pool to our hotel room, and my fiance had received a phone call from the friend revealing the truth of the entire night, which is exactly what I said was going to happen. It was an all-night conversation, an argument full of screaming and tears. Long story short, I explained what happened, and my fiance decided her friend had schemed the whole thing up, and I was forgiven, and we cut her out of our lives. Happily ever after, right?
Oh my goodness.
Wrong. My fiance's sadness and anger manifested into telling friends and family what happened. So now everyone knew. And for the next 5 years, anytime I was out late or with a friend or any argument in general, it got brought up. Scorched earth is never healed, and people never forget, even when you've been forgiven. A 10-year relationship ruined over one night of mischievous fun.
So they broke up.
They did. Now here's another email from him. Sarah, heard you were planning on diving in again on Friday. Figured I should give you at least a last bit of information to make it a little more clear. In my original email, I referred to my partner as my fiance to make things easier, but at the time of the incident, she was just my girlfriend of 3 years, and we'd been living together for 2. At the time, I was 29. My partner and her friend were 24. We got engaged almost exactly 4 years after the incident. Was he just trying to be like, despite the fact that it's scorched earth and you bring it up all the time and we have fights about it all the time, I'm still going to marry you?
I can comment on this.
Okay.
Pardon me.
Sure.
When you have screwed up royally, and I did that with a girl that I was dating, my drinking was completely out of control, and I would tell her I'm not going to drink anymore, and then I would drink again. And that was the lie that I repeatedly told her. The scorched earth thing, you feel guilty. You feel guilty, and you love this person. Like, I love that girlfriend of mine. He probably loves this girl. The mistake he made, so there he is. He's telling her, I want to be your partner. It was a mistake. I want to do
Here's
right
a
by
ring.
you.
I'm putting a ring on it.
And you will take that abuse as deserved for a while. There is a point, though, where you have to save yourself. Even though it's your fault and you've done this to yourself,
Yes.
you cannot live a life getting beat about the head and neck repeatedly forever.
And from her side, or the other person's side, in whatever situation, you breached the trust. And so there's always that nugget of, why isn't he back yet? Why can't I get a hold of him? Like, it really is very difficult to rebuild trust. And so sometimes when something like this happens, you have the big screaming match, maybe neither one of you even wants to. It's almost better just to call it a relationship.
If you can't, and this is one of the things, you hope that someone can ultimately forgive and forget and move on. If you can't, and you're like, there were things like, for example, sometimes I'm late.
What? You?
At that time, sometimes I don't even show.
Yeah.
I hate that. I'm laughing, but it's not that funny. Anyway, that's one of those things where she would bring that up at like, oh, you're 3 minutes late. Okay, does that mean I'm drinking again? Like, Jesus Christ, are we going to spend the rest of our lives going over this? And she couldn't even help it, is what I'm trying to spit out. She just, whatever pain I caused her, she wasn't over it and couldn't. And that might be the case for them.
It's a wound that it doesn't ever quite heal. And just when you think it's gonna, he's 3 minutes late.
What I'm surprised about in this story is that he says she's bisexual, and him and the best friend, her and the best friend had sort of come up with this three-way plan and introduced it to him right after taking Molly. I'm surprised that she was so injured by it. It seems like she was flirting with disaster, and some of that has to land on her too.
Yeah. I wonder if the three-way was the only way she could have this experience with the girlfriend.
I don't know.
And she felt like, well, if I include him, then we're all in it together. And meanwhile, she gets to have full on whatever kind of sex she wants to have with the friend that, she wants to get nasty with.
Well, and who's to say she didn't do that with her friend before?
Right. Well, we don't know that.
And maybe it's not the crime, it's the cover up. And
Maybe.
that's why, coming clean is such a reasonable option.
Right. If he had in the following days said, I have to tell you something, you're not going to like it, but it came from him, it might have been a whole different thing. For it to be a month and a half later and this chick to get, like, this is why you just, it's her best friend. Of course she's going to tell her at some point. Of course she is.
Over drinks, whatever.
Whatever it is.
Listeners are over this guy. 707, this guy's just looking for attention. He didn't need any advice. 415, Sarah, this guy's a liar. He changed or updated too many details. Also, we weren't even doing bad advice 8 years ago, yet he claims that's when he typed in the initial email.
Secret show.
On our secret show.
Mm-hmm. We did it
A
forever.
podcast that's actually still, I'm sure it's still in the podcast world.
And it is very dirty.
Racy, very dirty.
We stopped.
And we didn't edit it. Like, we swear,
Yeah.
we get filthy on that show.
Very different.
It's very different from this show. This is a very nice family show.
All right, let's do a new one then.
Okay. This one is from my sister.
Literally
Literally,
your sister,
my
Tina.
sister Tina.
Okay.
I see it's from Tina. I'm like, oh my God, Tina. So I do know some stuff about this story because it's been ongoing. It's a neighbor war. So honestly, often I feel like neighbor wars are unsolvable. And there's just, everyone just winds up hating everybody else. So I'm going into it with that because of course, I only know my sister's side of this story. And I believe that they've gone above and beyond for this neighbor.
Mm.
And my sister's a nice person. Like she's actually, she doesn't want no trouble. She really doesn't. And Jimbo, my brother-in-law.
Jimbo!
Solid dude. And you'll hear some of the stuff that he did in this. Okay, so here's our story. She says, what would you do? I live in Southwest Florida. We had new neighbors move in behind us several years ago. Our backyards, mostly on our side of the property line, were divided by palm trees and scrub, vines, etc. Florida, stuff goes wild, and you really can't see into most other people's backyards if you're back to back.
But there's no fences.
No fence. I don't believe there's a fence.
The first time I ever encountered places with no fences was outside of California, because in California, we fence our backyards.
Everything is fenced. Yeah.
So that's just
Yep.
If you're from here and you've never been anywhere else, you wouldn't know that yards bleed right into the next yard.
Yeah.
In other places.
It's true. When I grew up in Massachusetts, I was kind of in the country though. I'm an hour south of Boston, and while it's built up now, like your yard, you could walk right from your yard to somebody else's yard, and not even like a tree line, not even like a hedge line or anything. But in Florida, it is pretty hedged off. Like if you back up to another property, all you have to do is plant like two things, and next year you can't see the back of the house anymore. So they barely knew they had a neighbor house behind them because they've got all this vegetation in between. And they have a very small backyard. So they have a house, and then they have like a pool, an enclosed pool area. With
this is
Tina with the netting screening, because
mosquitoes,
for all the bugs and everything, and all the vegetation that would fall into your pool. Everybody has these sort of like netted off pools, and then just a small sliver behind the pool. It's like house, pool, basically that line of scrub.
The end.
Our backyards, blah blah blah. Everything grows naturally in Florida. We couldn't see them; they couldn't see us. About a year or so ago, they decided to clear the growth on their side by cutting back a bunch of it and leaving large gaps, now opening it up so much we could see into the back of each other's patios. We were disappointed, but we said nothing. It's their prerogative to do what they want on their side of the wall of vegetation. Last winter, our neighbors put in a row of bushes on their side, butting up to the couple palm trees and scrub on her side. Very soon after, they got in touch and complained to us that the vines, your vines, were growing on their bushes, and the existing growth was blocking the sun and prohibiting their bushes from growing. They spent a lot of money on the bushes, they said, and wanted us to clear all the scrub, trees, and vines out of the way. We weren't crazy about the idea, but we wanted to be good neighbors. And since they'd put in the row of bushes, we decided, fine, we'll clear everything out. And they did it at their own expense, too. And she doesn't put the price in here, but I know it was over $3,000.
Okay.
So they get this back area cleaned out, and now it's just the neighbors' bushes in between. Now they are still complaining about vines from our yard growing on their bushes. My husband has invited the neighbor over to see that we completely cleared our back property line. He insists that they're from us, now saying it must be coming from the bushes on the sides of your house, and wants us to pay half the maintenance of clearing the vines from his bushes. Our thoughts are, we did what they asked. We've paid more than our fair share already to clear everything out. We want to be good neighbors, but this is Southwest Florida. S grows. You can't stop it. Teener. I say, you say, we're absolutely not helping you pay for that. Snip the vines where you see them coming in, and that's it, right? They've already paid.
Well, I mean, is this something they couldn't do themselves? Like, why would they pay $3,000 more if they couldn't just walk out there with some snips and just...
That's what I'm saying. They've already paid the $3,000 to get all the trees and stuff out of there, so it's just these bushes, and now there's vines growing onto the bushes because nothing stops growing. Just tell, you know what, Tina, buy them a pair of garden shears and say, here you go. Find where the vines are coming from and just snip them off. They'll die. You can pull them right out of your bush.
Here's the thing about neighbors. I believe very much that you can really ruin the entire place you live by becoming enemies with your neighbors.
Yes.
Like, you can feel like you have to move. And meanwhile, you're like going, but this is our home and we don't have the money to move. Like, moving is expensive and we're going to run from our home because of those people. You don't want that kind of a situation.
And it's one thing if you're a renter and you go, okay.
Oh, well, that's different.
We're moving. I can't take that neighbor. This isn't our place. I moved because of a neighbor.
I have a buddy that moved because, like,
I was like, I cannot take it anymore.
I have a buddy that he lives down in Gilroy, by the way.
Oh, Gilroy. I love Gilroy.
Yeah, I know. He has had a neighbor for 20 years that he was at war with. They would each play loud music, and then the other would play louder music, and there was just, he's like, we've been at war for 20 years. I'm moving, and and he was like, I am 1,000 times happier now. So there is, like, that can ruin your whole home experience if you, like, and it's, the truth is let's say you have a hard day and you get home and you just drop the stuff and, oh, honey, a rough day at work. This is terrible, but I'm glad to have some dinner. And then the neighbor you're warring with starts in with his music or whatever. And you're like, this is what I come home to?
I can't believe he lasted 20 years.
But finances.
I know.
You can't just, like, the Bay Area specifically is not a place where you can just flip your house out and find a new one.
Not to mention, even if you can sell your house and get out from under it, like, you've just priced yourself out of your neighborhood, you know?
Right.
It's not like, it is really crazy. You remember Shingo, who was an engineer here when we first got here?
I love Shingo.
I know, me too. He had a house over in the East Bay.
He told you this story?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he goes, it wasn't about like a neighbor situation, but he was like, it's really hard for us to swing it. He goes, but if we sell it, where can we go? Like, we can't, unless we leave and I think he did end up leaving the area.
Well, by now he's probably retired, so they must have found a new.
Right. It has been 30 years.
Yeah.
So they found, but he stopped working at the stations and I think he moved away. And it was I thought that is true. And I think about like what you paid for your house when you moved into that neighborhood 15 years ago. Like, I've lived in my house for 16 years. It's like, I could not afford my house now. Like, you almost get locked into these things. And if you've got this horrible neighbor situation, you're right. It might take you 20 years to find a way out of it.
So here's what I think you do, or what I do. That's a better way to put it. What I do is I go over there and I say, listen, I want to come to a good solution for this problem. We've cleared this out at our cost. I understand you feel like our vines are hurting your, show me.
Yeah.
Let's show me exactly what it is you want me to cut. I've got my clippers in my hand. I've got gloves in my hand. Let's go cut them together right now.
Yeah. Here's a pair of gloves and scissors for you.
I would do that just because I understand where she's like, we've already done, and they're still asking. But to keep things copacetic, to keep a cool neighbor situation, that's what I'd try first.
Right.
If it continues to be a problem, maybe you've got to.
I wonder if they let it go so far that now these vines have invaded. I would be like, trace the vines back to the root. You have to be able to do that, right? And if they're on your property, then snip them off right there. When they're dead, you'll see all the dead leaves. You pull them out.
Try as best you can, though.
Yeah.
Is Tina, does she keep her backyard up? Like,
yes.
Do they keep it nice and everything in their backyard?
They literally don't have anything in their backyard now because they took it all out for these people who came in and they wanted more sunshine in their backyard, and you can't really blame them. I have no idea what, compass direction anything points, but a thick, high hedge can really cast a huge shadow all day.
And
you're on the north side of it.
maybe that's a point you make when you go back over there, is you say something like, look, we've already bent over backward to make you a happy neighbor.
Right.
And you're back at me again with this. So let's try one more time. But I don't have patience for this like grind you're putting on me.
Right.
Like I don't. I have a job. I have other things. I've got a mom. I've got a
I'm very
dad,
busy, right? I got some
little
sewing to
kids
do over there.
Whatever it is. But I mean,
Sure.
you're within your rights to say, look, we did what you asked of us.
Right. We don't feel that, taking the vines off your hedge, because it is totally on their property, is our responsibility.
Couple texts, 650. Why don't they just ignore the neighbor at this point?
I just told you, because bad neighbor
I think they
situations.
can see each other through their back doors.
Those neighbor battles are brutal and ugly.
Yeah.
You don't want it.
Well, and like you said, when you come home, you want it should be peaceful. Like that's, I think, why we love our homes, and why, that you create your own little world there. And when there's like some infringing, cringy thing, it's such a bummer.
Maybe I'm overstating something here, but I also, when your neighbors, like not everybody's going to end up in an evacuation situation, but we did. And all of a sudden you're in a bonding thing with your neighbors. Like you want to hope that if anything went down, an earthquake, a hurricane,
yes,
their own hurricane, you want to believe that you can count on your neighbors and not that they would rob you or shoot you or whatever thing that you should be bros.
Right.
At least at a base level where it is
amicable.
If something goes down, I'd like to believe, for example, that any one of my neighbors would have my kids back if I wasn't around and something happened.
Right.
You'd like to believe that they all rally around, like, oh my God.
Well, that's what a neighborhood does. And when you have good neighbors, it's great. And it is unfortunate that there are people. And, listen, when you get drunk, and everyone who has that neighbor problem, you're right about go over and calmly try to make a peaceful agreement, because you also will be part of the problem if you start to suddenly get ornery about the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Now you're the problem in their backyard. I do think they're over the line, but that's because I'm totally on Tina's side at all times. I'd be a good neighbor for you,
you were really mean to her when you were young.
I was.
So
I
you
spent my
have to be
whole
cool
life
now.
trying to make it up to her.
What? Wake up! Thank you. With Sarah and Vinnie.
Ding, 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 ding.